Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. What's up, everybody? MCZX here, the Smart Kingdom, and it's time to do a little SmackDown rundown, because who doesn't love the SmackDown rundowns? I mean, maybe not a lot of you, because a lot of people don't watch. I'm going through an existential crisis because no one watches, but it's okay. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. All right, everyone. So, SmackDown opens with Kevin Owens, and yes, I'm looking at my notes. SmackDown opens with KO, of course. KO is going to sue everyone in WWE, like he said last week, because last week he said he was going to do that, and he didn't do it, but he's doing it. He says, these are the following things that are going to happen. Tuesdays, Sami Zayn is going to be gone. Byron Saxton and Tom Phillips will wear one suit. That is one suit, one whole suit, because they sound exactly the same. The Fashion Files will be canceled. KO, so cruel. And other things, of course. Then KO calls out Vince. Then Shane music hits. I'm like, oh, here we go. Breaking the rules. Ziggler comes out doing Shane's entrance. Very funny, very funny. And, you know, he gets a little applause. By the way, there's a thick sign. Like a thick sign in the crowd, which is funny. Extra thick, if you know what I mean. Daniel comes out to remind KO he doesn't run the show, blah, blah, blah. Daniel says KO won't like what Vince has to say, and KO says Vince won't like what KO has to say. Okay, so I'm like, that's ominous. That should be cool. AJ versus Ty Dillinger's next. Pretty good match. I liked it. Why didn't you like it? You should like the match. If you didn't like the match, something's wrong with you. Good stuff there. Of course, Baron Corbin has to stick his nose in everyone else's business. He doesn't need to, but he does, because he's Baron Corbin. There we go. Lighting has been fixed. So, AJ wins with a calf crusher, kind of like the last time these two squared up. He didn't really work the knee a lot, but at the same time, you know, things happen. So, might as well end the match the same way he won from last week. And Corbin lays out AJ with the end of days and says, next week, you will be facing me in the open challenge. Next was Jinder Mahal cutting a promo on Shinsuke Nakamura and his many faces. His many faces. We come to one, including one about constipation, just like, and one when he's listening to Michael Jackson, and another one that's kind of racist. But I guess it works because he's pointing out how hypocritical we are as Americans when we make these racist jokes. And of course, people are like, oh, you're thinking it. The one about Godzilla. Then goes on to talk about Americans and how, like I just said, they're racist and they're always thinking of stuff like this. And he has one memorable line. He says Shinsuke looks like Pikachu having a seizure. It was odd, but the best promo of Jinder's career so far. He's improving. He's improving. Gotta give him some credit. Backstage, KO is making his list of demands, and then he runs into Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, you know, his best friend. He recaps a time it's like a time from 8 years ago when they were on the show and they wrestled in this little armory, and he said they're going to do whatever they can to get to WWE. And he tells Sami, he's like, the first thing I'm going to do is fire you and let you know that you won't have a job here anymore. And Sami says, I'd rather work in the armories instead of working for Kevin Owens. He's got heart. I keep looking at the wrong thing because I'm used to the camera facing this way. I'm used to this, not this. How to get used to this? Anyway, next up, Usos versus the New Day in a Las Vegas street fight. Clearly the match of the night. I thought it was the best match of the night. In an upset, sorta, kinda, maybe. In a weird twist, the Usos lost the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles again to the New Day. And it was clean. It was clean. This happened after Jey Uso went through a table when the Usos were going for that double splash or whatever, Saxton or whatever the other boy name is. Saxton or Phillips called it. Yeah. And that was it. And Xavier Woods didn't come out during the match. Like, he wasn't out there. normally doing the manager stuff. You know, he's still recovering from that knee. I like to point out that everyone in the New Day has up, down, down attire now, which is pretty freaking cool. Had the big wool on there, the Mr. 24/7 on Kofi's tights, and Xavier Woods is wearing his his Austin Creed attire and his WWE 2K17 playthrough as a single star. So that's pretty cool. I like the little incorporation of that. Natty versus Naomi. They didn't get entrances because they played this big Mae Young package that they played again during the Mae Young Classic. And strange, but it didn't affect the match. It was a good match between the two. Decent, I'd say. You had some shenanigans between Ellsworth and Carmella. By the way, Ellsworth is wearing he's wearing like a leash now. And Carmella drags him around like he's a slave. Like an S&M thing. Weird. It's weird. It's weird. I'll tell you that. It's weird. And Natalya wins due to some chaos by Carmella and Ellsworth on the outside. They tried to interfere. I guess Carmella was going to cash in maybe. And Naomi went and did a flying crossbody on both of them, which cost her the match. She tapped out to the sharpshooter. We cut to KO one more time. This time with Aiden English. And he says English would be the perfect person to sing the KO show theme song. Wonderful. And English did it. Time for midlife crisis or gimmick infringement or whose gimmick whose gimmick is it anyway with Dolph Ziggler. Shout out to New Legacy because you guys started that. I love you guys. Love you, Johnny. Love you, Dino. Love you all. You're great. Want to be a big boy. Anyway, Dolph says he's the greatest in-ring performer in WWE history. No, you liar. You are a liar. You liar. I don't believe you. You lie. You lie, my friend. You lie. You're a damn good performer, but the best of all time? No. No. He's going through his gimmick things again. He does Ziggly or Bailey or Dolphy with the flaming the tube men, the inflatable tube men. He does that. Then for some reason he does the ultimate Ziggler, which is kind of poor taste. He's mocking the dead. By the way, Dana Warrior's out there. Like, she's out there just watching it. I'm like, this is awkward. Very, very awkward. And I'm assuming Bobby Roode's going to come out. He doesn't. Dolph says he doesn't care about the fans. And he doesn't care about any of this. I'm so happy that Dolph is going to be leaving eventually because he could be wrestling in New Japan and putting on 6-star matches. Strange moment. Weird timing. I think poor taste on Dolph, but I did enjoy this segment. The next up was the Hype Bros. And for weeks, I've been waiting for Zack Ryder to go heel already. Still hasn't happened yet, but I think we're getting the first glimpse of it. It was the Hype Bros versus Gable and Benjamin. Of course, Gable and Benjamin win. And Mojo Rawley tries to show some respect to Gable and Benjamin. You know, shakes the hand. And it's Zack's turn. And Zack goes and walks off. And I'm like, oh, man. It's starting. Oh, yeah, Mr. Zack. He's about to be healed. And I've also noticed one other thing. Mojo Rawley is the less annoying version of Enzo Amore, except Mojo can wrestle. Enzo can't wrestle. I'm sorry, he can't wrestle. Yeah. That I don't know why I came up with that, but Mojo Rawley is the less annoying Enzo Amore. He ain't hype, but he could wrestle and fend for himself. In time for the biggest moment of the show, KO meets Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon. And here's a little recap of everything that was said. I'm going to read from my notes. Vince says Shane beat KO's ass not because he respects authority, but because Shane whipped that ass. It wasn't because you were trying to get a check. It was because Shane beat your ass and you couldn't stop him. Vince also makes a fat joke because, you know, Vince is jacked. He's jacked. And he says if KO files this lawsuit, Vince will fire Kevin Owens. So Vince has got a swagger on. Like, you sure you want to dance with me in this lawsuit game? Because I'll end you, bro. I'll end you. Don't do this. I've never lost a lawsuit in my life. I'm like, okay. Okay. KO says your son put his hands on me. Vince says he suspended Shane not for putting his hands on you. He suspended him for not finishing the job. Vince says KO. Hold on. Vince says KO got what was coming to him because common sense. You talk about a man's family, you're going to get punched in the mouth. It's just how it works. It's how it works. Vince reinstates Shane and says it's going to be a match. We called it at Hell in a Cell. And it's in Hell in a Cell. Shane versus Kevin Owens. This is what? Shane's second Hell in a Cell match or third? Correct me in the comments. I'm trying to remember if this is the second or third. I know he did one with Taker. And now he's doing this one with Kevin Owens. I could have sworn he had one other Hell in a Cell match. I don't remember it though. And KO being KO, CM Punk Jr., he needs Vince to promise that if provoked, I can beat a McMahon, keyword, a McMahon, senseless. And after KO says this, KO headbutts Vince McMahon in the head. And there's blood. There's blood. Like, holy crap, there's blood. Vince is insane. He's 72 years old, still taking bumps. Like he's still 20 or 30. Like, what is wrong with you, Vince? I know you're jacked. I know you're a jacked dude. I know you work out more than most of that roster, but you shouldn't be taking bumps at 72, man. It just shows how committed Vince is to certain angles. Certain angles. Keyword certain angles. Killstein Kill's been activated because after that headbutt, it was more. I was expecting a pop-up powerbomb. We didn't get that. But he kicked Vince in the gut, kicked him right in the ribs. He delivered a frog splash after Adam Pearce was like, no, stop it, you stop doing that. And after that, he hits a super kick to Vince. And that was it. KO did his thing. Steph came out. Steph told him to go to the back. And KO went to the back, just standing on the ramp. And Vince walks, kind of hobbles to the back. And he complains about his ribs. And that's the end of SmackDown Live. My lord. I don't really know what to rate this right now. Okay, I'm lying. I know what I'm going to rate it. I know exactly what I'm going to rate it. I really enjoyed this episode of SmackDown Live. Like, I really enjoyed it. Everything was done right. It wasn't a bunch of BS and stupid segments. All the segments made sense. The matches were fun to watch. Everything on the show was good. I'm going to rate this episode of SmackDown A+. I loved it. Good show. And that is the end of the SmackDown rundown with all the multiple camera angles because I can't get this right. Anywho, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the Smart Kingdom, follow us on Twitter. Everything is in the description. Until next time, one more camera angle. You stay safe, you stay awesome, trust yourself, love yourself, be great, follow your dreams, all that cool stuff. And I'll see you next week. Later.